So drop it into the chat so you have access to the information and to our future session. May 14th will be our last session, and it will be about life planning. And I really encourage you to come and share the information with other parents to really take a deep dive into learning about all the information you need as far as agencies and resources and supports to really help your student as they transition into their adult life. Also, just as a quick reminder, please remember if your child, student, young adult is ready to receive their high school diploma, they're meeting graduation requirements this school year, please know that we need to have signed deferment letters and decisions on which deferment program you will be going to. This is very important. Remember, once your student or child or young adult takes that diploma and exit Broward County Public Schools, they cannot come back and receive a free and appropriate public education any longer. So deferment is really important. If you need more information or you have any questions about this, please contact your school's ESE specialist or your transition specialist. So deferment, please. And if you want to learn a little bit more about it because you're not quite sure and your student's graduating next school year, you can log on to our YouTube channel and watch our whole session on deferment and deferment options. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. This session will be recorded for the content that's presented. At the end of the session, we will stop the recording and parents will have a half hour to ask and we'll be able to respond. But please keep your microphone muted and your cameras off during the session where content is being presented. If you'd like, because you can't stay until the end, to ask the questions in the chat, please feel free to do that. And our lovely transition specialist from our transition team will be on to help assist in answering those questions or guide you to the support that can help answer those questions. So if you can, please save them till the end. We are here to help you. Please remember that we have transition specialists that are assigned to all of our high schools and also our middle schools. So if you have transition questions and you would like some more support on transition services, please reach out to your school's transition specialist. We're here to help you. Tonight's session is going to be about post-secondary options. So we're going to have some fabulous guest speakers talk about some of the amazing programs we have right here in Broward and Dade County. We are going to talk about some pathways. So according to your students' post-secondary goals on their IEP, they may be looking more towards employment. So you have a pathway of employment and you have vocational rehabilitation who can support you on that employment pathway. You may be looking at some career and technical college options to get certifications in a specific trade or career. You may be looking at applying for college or universities, going to a state or community college, or maybe a four-year university. We're going to have some guest speakers talk about our inclusive higher education programs. These are programs that are created and funded by the Florida Center for Students with Unique Abilities at the University of Central Florida. These are post-secondary comprehensive transition programs for students who are intellectually disabled or on the autism spectrum. We also have some apprenticeship programs. We have apprenticeship programs right at our technical colleges. A lot of these programs are focused around the industries of construction, electricity, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. Some of these trades really need people to work, so please look into some of those apprenticeship programs. Our adult education programs. A lot of our community schools offer some fabulous adult education programs. These are some options for our students to participate when they exit out of high school. Also the military. Please be aware that if your son or daughter is interested in the military, that they will have to take the ASVAB. Their students must take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. So it's important that that's done prior to exiting high school. Also, our adult agencies have some great programs. So we will be able to connect you with some of those programs as well. In our life planning session next month, the second Tuesday of next month in May, we'll be really focusing on some of those adult agency programs, and we will have some of our partners come on and speak about those programs as well. Who do you need to know? I just want to remind you, every high school has a BRACE advisor. BRACE advisors are there to help our students decide where they want to go when they graduate high school. They also connect students to some college fairs. They connect students to whatever financial aid may be needed. So it's really important that you and your child or teenager meet with your BRACE advisor on your high school campus. They have a wealth of information, they have a ton of resources, and those are the people that you want to talk to when you're planning for your teenager to exit high school. Also, your high school counselor. Most high schools will assign a high school counselor per grade level. So your senior or 12th grade high school counselor is really important that you're continuing to communicate, making sure students are on track to graduate, finding out what you have to do to apply for FAFSA or financial aid or scholarships. It's really important that you have a strong relationship with your high school counselor. Your transition specialist, as you know, we're here to help. So please communicate with your transition specialist if you would like to have a transition plan kind of pulled out of the IEP and you feel that you need a little bit more support or guidance on where it is your student is going to and what types of options that they may have. And then please know your vocational rehabilitation counselors. They are really important to that transition into adulthood, especially supported employment, vocational assessments, and then also connecting to some of those career colleges. They can help monetarily with some support in that area as well. So please make sure you know who your vocational rehabilitation counselor is and that you have applied for vocational rehabilitation services on the adult side. And a transition specialist can assist you with that process as well. So these are just some highlights of people that you really need to collaborate and connect with when you're looking at planning and your young adult is ready to age out of school. I have a couple of resources that I just wanted to share with you very quickly as well. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Project 10 has this great resource, which I just wanted to breeze through really quickly, but you have access to this on project10.info. But it's really important that we understand that there are several predictors of post-secondary outcomes being successful. One of those predictors is career awareness, understanding and talking about what your child's interests are and what types of careers are available and out there.
That's me.
If you could just mute your mic, that would be great. Thank you. Predictor number 2, knowing about the career and technical education programs offered. Some of those career and technical education programs can start within high school and they can start earning those certification credits before they even graduate. So it's really important that you understand about dual enrollment and what those career options are within our technical education programs. Community experience. Really working with not only your schools and high schools, but working within your community, creating those volunteer opportunities, creating those experiences so students are exposed to what options do I have? What is it that I'm really interested in? And doing some of that volunteer work can really generate and empower a student to make choices about what types of career they really want to embark in. Some of our high school students really don't know what they want to do. Course of study, really focusing on what programs and classes that your student needs to take. It's really important to understand what I need to be able to learn before I can really embark on that pathway when I graduate high school. Making sure that you're taking all of those exit exams, meeting those high school requirements, what type of diploma option, goal setting. A lot of our students really don't know how to plan or look at their goal and create a plan so that I can reach those goals. And really, it's not only just the job of the teachers and the schools to do that, it's about parents and families working on really talking to your son or daughter about what it is they want to do and what they need to do in order to achieve that. Being inclusive within the educational system, making sure there's opportunities for universal design for learning, for classrooms to be immersed and filled with inclusion. Meeting with interagency collaborations. We need to make sure that we're connecting you to those agencies, but that you're following up and you're connecting to them. We had APD and vocational rehabilitation on last week, but there are a ton of agencies that can assist with this process. We need to learn about how we can connect to those agency resources to best support our young adults when they age out of school. The Center for Independent Living, the Florida Council for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, the Family Network on Disabilities. So these agencies are available, they're free, and they're here to help us to be able to support our young adults as they embark into the next chapter of their lives.
Can you share that screen with everyone, Stace? We're seeing your screen, but we see who you need to know. That's the PowerPoint that we see right now. And
Oh, okay. So as I was going through, I thought that you guys were
yeah,
seeing that. My
no
apologies.
worries. But there's a couple parents that do want to see it and perhaps take a
Yep.
picture of that, take a snapshot of that. Thank you. I'll let you know when it's clear for us to
I
see.
apologize that I'm such a dinosaur with my technology. So I definitely, and actually that is one of
There
the
we go.
predictors. Okay, so
We
we
can see
are
now.
on, okay. So we are now on predictor 10 for paid employment and work experience. And that's what our deferment programs are all about. So please defer and really provide those opportunities to your children and students to participate in our paid employment and work experience. Predictor number 11, parent expectations. Let's set the bar high. Let's have high expectations for our students so that they can reach their goals when they exit out of high school. Parent and family involvement is really important. It takes a village. We need your involvement. We need your follow through. We need your support. We need you to help us with being realistic about what those post-secondary goals are and how we can all work together to make sure that you're following through with the agency support. We're keeping up with that progress monitoring of the students' goals. Family involvement is huge. Psychological empowerment. This is all about students really owning their responsibilities. They need to start to make meaningful connection to their behaviors and what the outcomes are if they do those behaviors. Self-care and independent living. Independence is huge. We need to work on our young adults being independent enough as they move out into the real world. Self-determination and self-advocacy, like I was talking about earlier, setting goals, taking initiative to reach those goals, accepting the consequences of one's actions. Self-determination and self-advocacy is huge. Self-realization. And this is really important. We talk to students all the time that they really don't have that self-awareness of where it is that they want to go and how they're going to get there, and creating realistic goals for them and helping them set those goals and achieving them so that they feel empowered and confident about what it is they want to do with their life. Social skills, definitely work skills at home. That's really important. The practice within the community is huge. And student support, making sure that our students feel supported and they have a network of people and friends and family to support them. Technology skills, predictor number 19. We all need to know those technology skills, out with the times of paper, right? So we all have to be savvy with technology, or at least have those basic skills, because that's the future. Whether they're going to college or whether they're going to be in a job, they need to learn technology. And then predictor 20, knowing about all the transition programs, travel skills, work study, youth autonomy, and decision making is Predictor 23. This resource I think is really cool because it kind of outlines everything that you need in order to have that true successful transition into adulthood. This resource is available to you again on project10.info, and I'm also going to drop the attachment for you in the chat so you can just upload it. And then real quick, before I pass on to our first guest speaker, I also wanted to show you this great website, which is called Think College. And I think it's really cool because it also not only gives you all the information about all the different inclusive college programs that are available, it actually gives you the college search. So you can click right here, South Florida, and it will open up all of the programs that are available right here in South Bradford, who's going to talk to you about build your future and grow your future, and tell you exactly what the programs are all about and who to contact. So it's really great if you wanted to work on this with your child to kind of go through to see all the different college programs that are and help them start sure. So those are just some resources that I think would be really cool for you to explore. And I will put the link in the chat, and I will also drop the information with those post-secondary predictors for you as well. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Ms. Christy Bradford, and I will pull up your PowerPoint for you.
Hi, thank you, Stacy. Thank you to the ESC department for having me, and thank you to all the parents and caregivers who are on tonight. My name is Christy Bradford. I am the supervisor in the CTASE department. CTASE stands for Career, Technical, Adult, and Community Education. I supervise the adult and community side of the house. What I want to talk to you tonight is we have several programs for adults with disabilities, and I'm very excited about two of our programs I will begin with. They are Florida Post-Secondary Comprehensive Transition Programs. On the federal level, it's called a Comprehensive Transition Program. This is funding that has come forward to allow, and the term is very broad, adults with intellectual disabilities the opportunity to go to college. UCF, Florida Atlantic University, several universities in the state of Florida have these programs and have students living in the dorms, attending classes, monitoring classes, and it is to provide post-secondary access. We in Broward were the second in the state to have a program be implemented at a technical college. We started at McFadder Technical College. It's called Grow Your Future, and we now have a second program at Sheridan Technical College, and that is called Build Your Future. And what these programs allow are students with an intellectual disability. You do not have to have the title, the eligibility of intellectual disability. If the student has left K-12 and they are showing something of it, some developmental delay, maybe they were language impaired, maybe they're ASD. So if there was some documented delay in academics and functioning, your child may very well be eligible. So please reach out if you would think that may be an interest to you. The student does apply to McFadder through us at CTASE. You'll be able to contact us. And what the program allows is they are fully inclusive into a culinary program, or now we've expanded to multiple career technical programs. They are with a teacher that supports them impartially in their day. They do need to be able to navigate fairly independently within that campus. And the student, the goal is they eventually will sit for an industry certification in their area of study, just like anybody else would, in order to go on to employment or further training. Industry certifications are recognized through the Florida Department of Education. You can see Stacy's going through. We have numerous students that have gotten industry certs with that. They are allowed accommodations. They have training on multiple employability skills, resume development, and we support them in placement into post-secondary employment or career or moving on to another educational level through that. So at Sheridan, same thing. We have students in IT. We have students who are in automotive, construction. It is truly, if the student has the ability, just like if your child was going into any program at another university, to achieve in that area, that is what we look for. We bring in about 15 to 20 students a year, and it's been a phenomenal program to go through. The good news is we have a grant through the University of Central Florida. This program is funded through the Florida Department of Education. UCF, they monitor it and they manage for all the programs. That each student will receive a $7,500 scholarship per year while they're in study. Tuition at a technical college is somewhere probably around $2,000 to $3,000 a year. So the additional funding that they would receive is for that student, just like any other scholarship, to assist them throughout the program in there. So I went kind of fast on that. I'm not sure if there's any other questions at the end. Would be more than happy to walk you through it and to see what what the programs look like. We do give the students micro certs, certifications in, it's called Work Essentials. It's a software that provides a digital badge on IT, one on financial literacy, and one on employability skills, workplace skills. And they end up with those programs. Each one is about 28 hours, and that goes on the student's resume as well. We've had several students employed in Broward schools in several areas with this program, and we are always looking to expand. I'm going to flip over to another program we have, which is at Siegel School and at Whispering Pines, and that is the Adults with Disability program. It's a different grant. That is for students, again, post-secondary, you have to leave the K-12 system, and it's for students who need more structure. They may have been in a self-contained setting and need to work on employability skills, independent living skills, daily living skills. And that's phenomenal programs as well. And we would be happy to walk any parents through who feel like their child isn't quite ready for that big open exposure, but more on working on just getting to the next step. There are students in there up to 50 years old, and it's a very popular program. They do healthcare, they do cooking, they all kinds of things, very much like a self-contained program with the goal of getting employed. That grant is through the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation as well. So I went very quickly. So Stacy, am I missing anything for you guys?
No, thank you. I apologize. For some reason, the PowerPoint just wanted to play. So I
That's
just had to
okay.
keep going backwards.
That's
So I
okay.
apologize, but I appreciate the overview. We will share any information, and then if you can stay on until
Absolutely.
the end, that way families can ask some more questions if they have some questions about the program. So I appreciate you sharing. Our next guest is going to be speaking to us about Embrace at FIU, Vanessa Gabriel and Crystal Sutherland. Good evening. You're on mute.
Thank you for that, Stacy. Good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal Sutherland. I'm trying to share my screen. Hold on one second.
It's in the top right corner by where the leave button is.
Yes, I have apparently too many things open.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Okay, Stacy, can you confirm if you guys are seeing my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So good evening again, everyone. My name is Crystal Sutherland, and I'm the Director of Education and Employment Services at FIU Embrace. And I have with me Vanessa, who is our job coach. So our FIU Embrace degree seeking program, it's a program at Florida International University. Our program is primarily at our main campus. That's the campus off 8th Street in Sweetwater. For persons that are familiar with the Miami area, that's the campus that's close to or closest to Dolphin Mall. Our program is a 3-year non-degree program. It's an inclusive program on our college campus for students ages 18 through to 28 with a diagnosis of ID and or autism. And these are students that have exited high school and can demonstrate that they have exited high school. So whether it is a certificate, a letter from the school, so this is not a dual enrollment program. And the primary goal of our program is to offer a comprehensive and integrated university experience for our students. Our students are on campus auditing college classes. I'll go into a bit more detail. And the goal is for our students to be able to secure competitive integrated employment when they leave the campus, and for our students to be able to live independently. And of course, independence looks a little bit different depending on the student's desire and the student's goals, but we work with the students towards independent living. So in terms of our eligibility criteria, our application has a very long list with about 15 items, I believe. But what I have pulled to share are those that have been the ones that parents tend to ask a lot of questions on and need a bit more clarity. And those are the ones I'll go through. So documented intellectual disability and or autism. So there are times when parents or family members are a bit unclear as to what the diagnosis is. And what we use is the diagnosis as per documentation. And typically it's a psychological evaluation. As I mentioned before, they would have had to exit high school and demonstrate that they have exited high school. The student must have the legal authority to make decisions that would allow them to participate in the program. So when I speak about this, I'm speaking about guardianship. So the student has to be able to legally and independently make decisions regarding employment, regarding education, regarding travel. We do have our students participating in conferences and traveling as a part of program participation. There are times when parents have a guardianship document in place, but they do not fully understand the document. It's a lot of legal language. We do have a legal department, so we encourage parents to just ask the question, reach out to us. We'll connect it to our legal team just to ensure that the document that you have in place is one that would allow the student to participate in our program. On the previous slide, I said that our program serves persons ages 18 to 28. For clarity, the student has to be 25 on admission to the program. Our program is a 3-year program, so the oldest that the student can be in the program is 28. So I hope that clarifies that for you if you had that question. And we need to have a complete psych eval for the student that's going to be entering the program. And as I mentioned, the full criteria is on the application packet. In terms of our program components, we do have academic classes. So our students are taking typical FIU classes with their neurotypical peers. They're doing 2 classes per semester for audit. Our students have either diagnosis of ID and or autism. Our program is not a degree program, so it is not our expectation that our students are going to be doing these classes and getting a grade A. It's possible, but that's not our expectation. Our students are auditing the classes, so they're going to classes and they're making their best effort to earn as much as they can earn from participating in those classes with their peers. We have internship opportunities. There's an opportunity for our students to join FIU clubs on campus. FIU is a pretty large campus, so there is a club for just about any interest that the students would have. Our students participate in conferences. We have a social component that's tied to our program, where our students are able to engage in social activities on and off campus. And we also have several wraparound services to assist with that. The wraparound services that I would have mentioned, we have a job coach that works with our students at the moment that our students enter our program. Vanessa, who is with me, is one of our job coaches. We do a vocational assessment to see where their strengths are, to see what would be the appropriate match for our students in terms of employment. and we work with the students to get them connected to this. We build on skills across the 3 years with the aim of the student being able to be employed when they exit the program. The university has a disability resource center, and this disability resource center serves anybody at FIU that has a disability, and we work with our students to connect them to the DRC to receive services. And this includes extended time for exams, a note taker, recorder, a reader, quiet room for exams, and other accommodations as needed. Our students have social mentors who are undergraduate FIU students who are paid by FIU Embrace and trained and employed by us to work with the students to navigate the social piece of being on campus. So how do you actually join these clubs? How do you actually find opportunities to go to the movies with your peers without your parents planning these opportunities for you? And how do you identify and connect with other persons on campus who would have interests similar to yours, and to also connect with them socially independent of parents? So that is really what the social mentor works with our students on. We also have academic mentors who are also undergraduate students who work with our students as tutors in a one-on-one capacity to assist them in navigating the academic piece of being on campus. Faculty mentors are also a part of our program, and these persons are faculty or staff who work at FIU who are not connected to our department. So this can be faculty or staff from anywhere across campus who work with our students in a one-on-one mentoring capacity as well. And across the 3 years, the students are assigned a program coordinator that works with the students in terms of navigating the requirements of the program for the specific year that they are in. Our students have responsibilities, of course, as would a typical college student. They must comply with the university's policies and the code of conduct, which is something that we explain to the students in seminars to ensure that they understand the rules and regulations of the university. We communicate with the students directly. We expect that the students are going to participate in all aspects of the program. So the fun parts of the program and the parts of the program that are not always very fun. A question that we tend to get asked a lot is the schedule. So our students do not have a schedule that is full for the entire day, as is typical in high school. There are times, and what I have is a sample. So every student's schedule looks different depending on what they're enrolled to participate in. But there are going to be times when the students will have gaps of time on their schedule where they do not have an assigned item. And during this time, students are able to navigate the campus independently. There is not a staff that's going to be assigned with the students to follow them around campus. So what students typically do is the first couple of weeks are difficult for anybody, not just students in our program. So it takes them some time to become familiar with the program, familiar with the campus, familiar with the layout of FIU. But after a time, they become accustomed to it and they find different places on campus to hang out until they need to attend to an activity on their schedule. We do have a dorm experience. Students are able to live in our typical dorms with typical college students with supports, of course. So in a typical college setting, there is a residential assistant. And what we have is a position that mirrors that. And we call them community assistants or CAs. They do not live in the same pod as the students. And what I have on the slide is a layout of the pod. So ideally, the student would have a bedroom for themselves, and ideally other FIU Embrace students would be occupying this space. Well, let us say I only have 2 FIU Embrace students that apply for residential, then I would only have one other person. I will have one other typical college student occupying that space. And the staff stays not in the same pod, in another pod on the same floor as the students. This is not mandatory, so families can choose to apply to the residential component, or they can choose to have the students join as commuter students. And the last slide I have with regards to our application process. So our applications open usually in the last week in August. Our applications will open, and applications will remain open through to March for the following year. So we just closed applications for fall 2024. We will reopen applications in August for fall 2025. The application packet is very lengthy, so it typically takes quite some time for families to get the information together. So we encourage families to start the process early and to reach out to your different resources in the community to ensure that you have everything together to successfully apply. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Vanessa. Will you guys be able to stay on for the end when we have some questions?
I'm sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, our next guest speaker is Melissa Adams, and she will be sharing information about the Seahawks Nest at Broward College. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to share. Let me get my screen up here.
Let me know if you need any help. Okay, perfect.
Alrighty. Just move this thing at the top so I can get to the slideshow. Okay, good. Everybody can see it?
Looks
All
good.
right. So we are the Seahawk Nest Academy at Broward College. We have we have programs on two campuses, the North Campus in Coconut Creek and the South Campus in Pembroke Pines. So our program is 3 years and students complete 51 credits or units across the 3 years. Students typically take the Broward College classes for audit. We do have a credit option depending on the individual student. So students take 2 Broward College courses every semester and then also take a Nest workshop course every semester as well. And in that course, we cover soft skills and employability skills and work towards the Florida Ready to Work soft skills certification. So upon graduation, students receive a professional services certificate. They have the opportunity to earn other technical certificates for an individualized basis. But we are a non-degree seeking program as well. So the first year students take foundational courses, increasing independence and self-advocacy. They take things like computer literacy, college success, public speaking, total wellness. And then second year, they take those career pathway courses. And third year is internships, kind of on the job training. And we work with our employment solutions to develop interview skills and resumes. These are some of the career pathways that we have available. Office support and hospitality and guest management are 2 most popular ones. But based on an individual basis, we can do early childhood, graphic design, and we do have some in the computer information technology department. We have several students doing cybersecurity. So we have a ton of supports throughout the program for our students. We have coaching that's provided by our academic coordinators. So on each campus, there's an academic coordinator and a student support specialist. Those are our 2 full-time staff. And then we have 2 or 3 part-time staff, which are peer facilitators. And those are generally closer to the student's age to kind of help them understand life on campus, navigating college classes, and just all of the things that go along with college, from social skills to academic skills. Our academic coordinators provide coaching once a week, and that's typically 1-on-1, 2-on-1. They review feedback from their courses and internships. They help them address any kind of social skills, emotional skills, any strategies needed for college, and work on that time management piece. We provide tutoring as well. We work with the Academic Success Center at Broward College to provide tutoring in certain content areas, but whatever they don't cover, we pick up by the Nest staff. This is typically provided by our student support specialist and our peer facilitators. And it's multiple times a week, depending on what courses the students have. Sometimes if they have an online class, we will help them in tutoring learn how to walk through the online class. Helping them understand how to submit assignments, time management. Then we have our peer facilitators. They go to the Broward College classes with them sometimes, help them to get their accommodations, understand the assignments in class, give them support in there. They go to student life events with them, help them navigate campus in the beginning until they're independent. And then we have Nest specific courses every semester. So those are kind of with their cohort. So each cohort, when they come in, will take those courses. They're specifically designed for the Nest students, and our academic coordinators teach those. And then we have internships. We have on campus and off campus. We start on campus